Okay, welcome to episode 2 of my walkthrough for Code Vein. This is basically the perfect start part 2 for Code Vein. So we have just come back from the past and we've left Franz alive, which I think is the right thing to do. So Noah is back there. We have him as a companion though, whenever we need to go back and upgrade his blood code. The next couple things I'm going to do is first I'm going to get Lavinia's blood code. So Lavinia is going to do a couple things before she gives me her blood code. The first thing is she's going to give me some boosters. So she's going to give you a booster for every blood code you max proficiency with. So that's actually a really, really good reason to level up blood codes as much as you can. But if you talk to her again and you press catch up, she's going to give you her blood code. Her blood code is really powerful because it gives you the booster that makes other blood codes level up faster when you get it to the second level of proficiency. The next blood code we're going to get is right here. You're just going to talk to Iris, and she is going to give you the ability to summon her. And once you summon her, she'll give you her blood code. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to catch up with her, and that is going to give us, for one, Blood Field Strike if you want to use that forma. And she's also going to give us a mission. And so that'll just be a mission that we're doing throughout the rest of the game. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go up and talk to, man, what's her name? How do you say Yadwiga? There's an NPC that says her name. I'll go talk to him and figure it out. But so there are a million places you can talk to her, but you're going to go past the general store and you're going to run up top to where the billiards room is. And in here, you're going to be able to do a couple things with her. So the first thing you're going to do is catch up with her, and she is going to she's going to give you a summoning pack to summon her as a partner. She is always going to be assimilated with you. She's not going to be out on the battlefield fighting with you, but once you summon her as a partner the first time, you'll get her blood code. And then you're going to catch up with her a second time, and this is where you start upgrading your general store, or sorry, your weapon shop.
Oh,
so this is where the uncanny stones come into play. So we just gave her
rocks.
We gave her a couple uncanny stones, I think, and then now she's saying, "Rocks, bring them to me."
Rocks.
You know. So now we've got the request to upgrade that. So you'll find uncanny stones throughout the world, and you'll bring them back to her, and she gives you more weapons to buy. So here's the general store. We have no upgrades to the general store yet, but we will get a couple really soon. And now if we head over to the weapon shop, we also have no new weapons in the weapon shop. So there are all of her minions around. Which minion says her name?
Business booming.
It must be this one back here then.
I help Yadwiga.
Yeah, Yadwiga, okay. Yadwiga. If you want to, you could upgrade your weapons right now if you had enough haze. I don't have any haze right now because I lost it when I died, but we're going to go pick that up in just a second. Okay. I also have that glowing stone haze, so let's go look at that real quick. So I have these right here, glowing haze, and you can see that they're consuming them will give you 300 haze. Consuming this one will give you 150. And you can either consume them or sell them, but honestly, hold on to those until you really need some extra, some extra haze. And the reason you want to hold on to them is because it's a safe way to store haze. Like, I just lost all my haze because I died. But with the glowing haze, it'll never leave. So save it until you need it. Like if you need another couple hundred to buy an item or something, use it. So from the training room, something we didn't look at earlier. So from the training room, if you turn to the right as you're heading to the training room and go upstairs, you'll head to the hot springs. And there's a couple items up here too, I think. So there's the organic soap, which is just a gift you can give away. And there's another uncanny stone. Right here, all of these mirrors, you can adjust your appearance. So you just go back to the character creator. You can change your character anytime from there. And then here is a hot spring. You always want to rest in the hot springs because it gives you recipes. So right here, we're going to get 2 recipes. So stall vaccine and stone vaccine. So Franz, the character that everybody says like gets really annoying because of the stone he inflicts on you, that's where you get the vaccine for it. So you can basically mitigate and stop stone from building up on you. So to craft an item, you just want to open your main menu thing and go to item synthesis. And if we go down to where the stone vaccine is, let's see. So stone vaccine, you need to get some dust dew and a walnut. Man, dust dew. I only know one place that has that, and it's pretty far into the game. I'm sure there are other places considering you need it here. Maybe there's a vendor you can buy it from. And then walnut. So if you wanted to, you could go build a bunch of those. I already have 3 on me though. So when you do that fight, just pop a vaccine before you go in there. So vaccines make it where that buildup on you is less. So let's just look at that real quick. So it says a drug used to boost resistance to stone. So this just buffs your resistance to it. There's also items that'll remove it completely. And that is actually, there's one of those right here. The anti-venom right here is a medicine that cures the status ailment. So you have 2 different ways of handling it. We don't have the stone vaccine or the stone anti-stone yet, but we do have that anyways. So that's the hot springs. There's a couple more rooms in the back to check out if you want to. There could be some purple items back there. I do not remember. But I summoned this elevator a while ago and then went to the hot springs. So now we can finally head up the elevator. So all we're doing up here is we're going to grab 1 mistle and then we're going to get my haze. And then we're going to go get our motorcycle and then we'll explore the rest of the island. So, there is the mistle that I was talking about.
It seems safe here.
The only reason this mistle is nice is because it helps you get outside of Magmell very quickly. And there's only 1 dungeon around there that is like close to that, but it's still nice to teleport back to it. Okay, so I got my haze. Only 390 haze, so that's not too much. Okay, so now we got to get here. There is a mistle right here if you got it earlier, but that mistle also is closed off for right now. So I like to go to the water treatment plant and take the elevator. Like that mistle, it'll say no fast travel available to that mistle if you got it. So it's like, you can get it if you want to, but I think getting it right now is like the best time to get it. Okay, so you're just going to turn left outside the water treatment plant. I also say so a lot, so I'll not talk for a second. So I say so a lot, and I'll start sentences with so all the time. And when I'm looking at videos and editing them later, it drives me crazy. So here's the cutscene to get your motorcycle. And now we're going to activate this mistle.
The island offers such wonderful views.
So there's a couple things to do on the island real quick before we leave. So here's one of Jadwiga's minions. So you could have talked to this minion in the past also. But every minion has unique weapons and unique forma. So make sure you're grabbing all of these. And like right now, I don't have enough to buy them. But here, you know, I'll come back and buy all of this very soon. And here's also where you could buy some stone vaccines if you're having a hard time with the stone status effect. So from here, I'm going to go left, and we're actually going to go down into this cave right here. And this cave has a purple item we're going to get. And then there's an archway down here that you won't be able to use until later in the game. But we'll just go ahead and activate the mistle so we have it for later, and we'll grab this purple item. Pure Platinum 1. Not bad. So here is the mistle. I guess I will kind of go down here just to show you what's down here. But it's just an archway. There it is. Okay, now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to teleport up to the Forma storage tower, and we're going to go get this Pathos. Now that I have the motorcycle, that's what I was waiting for. So, going to jump on the motorcycle, and we're just going to go around the back of Magmell. You can also go the other way, but it's like really rocky, and there's like a cliff, and it's like tricky, and you might die. So going around this way is best. Right here is a chest. There's a little chest if you want to get it. Ancient Hunter, I mean, you definitely want to get it. But I am not a big fan of the bayonets in this game, but once you unlock secondary weapons, they're not bad as secondary weapons. So here's another Jadwiga vendor, and this one has some more unique weapons and unique formas. Jeez. So some of these formas are really good, like adding blood to your current weapon, not bad. and then lowers your defense and increases your attack. So if you're really good at dodging and stuff, this is a good weapon to use. You also have your Pipe of Thraldom, which is only 10 haze, so we're gonna get it, and your Hammer of Thraldom. So these are just your like basic, like if you wanted to do like a pipe run through, you know, like some games you use like the weakest weapon to run through, like a stick or something. That is what I believe you'd want to use if you weren't just using your fists. Okay, so right here, I'm going to show you where I am on the map, just so you know. We started over here, we went around the back of Magmell, we found the vendor, we got a chest over here, and now here's the cave entrance. And anytime you see these yellow, like yellow right here, that denotes the entrance to a cave or a building or something worth exploring. So, running in here, we are not going to complete this dungeon. We're not going to complete any of the dungeons. We're going to go in for very specific items, and then we're going to leave, but we're always going to have the missile here to come back later. You can, of course, complete these if you want to. I did complete these the first time I came through, but I also did a little bit of, like, leveling up. I did more leveling up than I have right now. So right here, you got a lot of darkness, so using that flashlight you got earlier is kind of useful. The flashlight's very limited usefulness. So this is a really good spot in the game if you wanted to start leveling up your Lu blood code. So you're not going to be able to level up Noah's blood code anymore until you get to the next area. So if you want to level up Lu's blood code, that's fine. It's still the weapon we're using right now is dexterity and mind. So you'll be good to go. Let me make sure we don't have any burden. And yeah, we don't really have any overburdened effects. Yeah, we're halfway up on 2, which gives us the medium dodge roll. If you want, maybe I'll make a video explaining some of that back end stuff. So this Pathos is really good because it reduces or it increases your resistances to all status effects, which applies to the Franz fight. So like I said, all I was coming in here was to get that, and now we're leaving. So where I'm going to go next is I'm going to head to the Magmell Island Central. And there's a couple ways to get to where I'm about to go. There is an easier way. The easiest way to get there is to drive all the way down here to the original cave where you have a missile in the past but you don't hear, and then just jump down like we did for the rejuvenation bean. But instead, I'm actually going to go through a tunnel system that's over here. Or a tunnel system, there's one cave. Or apparently I'm not. Oh, you know what? The cave is downstairs and I do not feel like dealing with it, so we're jumping off. And anytime you're gliding on your motorcycle, make sure you pull up on the back on your stick, because otherwise you will just plummet to the ground. Like, it'll just, like, take you straight down. It's wild. Like, I do not know what they were thinking with how the gliding works in this game. Because it goes against how gliding works in every game. Like, every game where you have gliding, you use the glider and it just kind of keeps you at a nice steady pace. But in this game, you're immediately nosediving.
Let's rest up.
Okay. The enemies in this cave are a little bit harder than enemies elsewhere. And what we're looking for is we're actually looking for this item, the blue diamond. And pretty much you get that. There's a chest in here to get to, which I'm going to grab. You can skip a lot of enemies in here if you want to. And then I'm going to kick this ladder down and just kind of leave without fighting the boss. But kicking the ladder down will give you the ability to come back to this place really easy. So just as an example, like right here, like this guy, you can see, like, I'm not doing very much damage to him because you're not intended to be in here right now. But if you wanted to, you could go ahead and knock all this out. I let my stamina run out right there. So if you want to get some, you know, 200 XP is just haze. It's just not a lot for killing an enemy like that. There's a grind on the next island where you can get 900 haze basically every 10 seconds or 30 seconds. And, or it's 18,000 haze every 10 minutes. So I guess that's 900 haze every 30 seconds. And I actually have that video up on my channel if you want to check it out. It's just a very early game XP farm that you can go to right now. You don't have to do the stuff I'm doing. You can just head straight there. Okay. Oh, I didn't realize there were two of them. I screwed myself over right there. Let me just heal up and then I'll take these guys out. There we go. That was the first time in this playthrough that I've used that time hammer.
Thank goodness you pulled through.
Okay, so right down here is going to be a chest I'm going to grab. The companion system in this game also makes this game incredibly easy. It's a free revive, and even if that person goes down, they'll come back soon. So that is the Night Stalker Forma. The Night Stalker Forma makes you more silent. So if you want to sneak around and do like some assassin stuff, get a lot of backstabs, that is the, you could pop that Forma to just be quieter and be harder to see. So from here, there's two ways to go. I think this way will actually give us what I want, but I'm not positive about that. Yep, this way will give us what I want. Okay.
It can't be.
So I was looking for this golden nectar right now. And then we'll just go around to where that map goblin is. And we'll kick down the ladder. So if you wanted to, you could shoot that map goblin from here. So if you wanted to switch to the bow and arrow, you're going to get to that map goblin anyway, and it's not that complicated. But if you wanted to, anytime you see a map goblin in the distance, don't forget that you can always switch to your bow and just snipe it out if you want to. So now we're going to head right to where that map goblin was. These are easily skippable if you want to. I'm just going to do it for a little bit of XP. So right here, you see how I froze him in time with my Reaper Scythe? But see, he's falling back, so I can't do any damage to him while he's falling back. So that's like the small downside of using the Reaper Scythe to freeze time, but it gives you a lot of breathing room. So always pay attention to your stamina. Make sure you're not going in there and just attacking until your stamina runs out.
Well done.
Is there anything over here? I didn't want to explore this whole dungeon, but I guess I might as well since I'm already doing it. So up the stairs to the right, and there's an enemy right there. Oh, I jumped too soon. Yeah, I jumped way too soon for that attack. So these guys aren't doing many combos right now. So without combos, enemies are really, really easy to kill. The combos are really what take you out, unless there's a second enemy jumping on you from the side when you're about to kill the first enemy, which happens way too often. Get some of that ichor. So see, he's frozen in time. I won't be able to hit him until he's like out of that. There we go. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now, but if you freeze an enemy, heart remnants are really important. If you freeze him in time with your construct, with your hammer, the Idris's Conceit, you'll be able to attack them while they're frozen in time there. So sometimes what I like to do is on harder enemies build up the status effect with my Reaper Scythe, and then finish off the status effect with my Idris's Conceit. So here's just another little side area to go down. I'm just looking in that puddle. There's nothing down there. Okay. Forgot about these guys. So this gun guy right here is going to be a problem because he's going to shoot me while I'm trying to fight the big guy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to back completely out of this room and get the big guy to follow me. And the gun guy will not follow me. And that'll also give my my girl some time to come back. Oh, the gun guy did follow me.
Sorry for taking so long. Fire. Yeah. Be cautious.
Okay, this guy will be dead now. Okay, let's take one more combo. I got greedy right there. Okay, dude. Well, I don't want to go down there. Okay, he's coming back up. So she also does the time stop status effect. So that's great. If you really want to go for like time stop stuff, she can help you build it up. She's not as reliable as I want her to be. Like, it takes her a while to kind of like do the time stop, you know? Okay, so this room just connects right back to this room, which I should have realized sooner. But I am not smart. I would say I'm not good at visualizing, but I have a map right there, so do not have an excuse. Okay, so cool. Here's the boss right here. And then we're just going to kick this ladder down. And now we don't have to do anything else. We can just teleport out of here. Because at any point we can teleport back to this mistle and do this dungeon. So now we've collected everything on this island. So all of the important stuff. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to head to the fast travel. And we're going to do a little bit of housekeeping. We're going to grab 2 blood codes real quick. So we're going to change partners to Iris. Come on. So here's Iris. We just got Iris's blood code. And now we're going to change partners to Jadwiga to get her blood code too. So there are a couple more blood codes if you want to level those up right now. The Iris blood code is more of like a strength kind of tanky blood code. You know, you got the vitality, you got the strength, really just an oinga boinga. The Guardian's heart is not very good right now. I'm not even sure how to get the upgrades. I'm sure they come later. Jadwiga, willpower, dexterity, you know, but you can see from the traits down at the bottom, it's a magic thing. And then you've got Lavina, which is definitely a magic thing. Now hers is kind of difficult to use because you'll get a lot of burden at first, but I'm going to show you how to level all of these up like really quickly. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick with Lou for now, and I'm going to head over to the main island.
All right.
I guess I'll just grab this blue thing. So we are going to talk to this little guy right here. We're going to head out. Okay. So now you are in the sunken city. So now the game is open world. You can pretty much go to every area. You do not have to do the sunken city first. You can do the other areas, you know, first if you want to. I remember looking around here and not finding any items, so I'm going to move on. I also thought this area was really weird because there are no enemies for a while. So I thought that was kind of, I was always expecting an enemy. I did not realize that I still have Jadwiga as my partner. So as you play with the partners more too, the partner trait bonuses will go up. So that's something else to keep in mind, you know, playing with them a little bit. Okay. Nice little cutscene that we'll skip. Just kind of seeing the sunken city. Now, some of the timeline in this game is difficult to track. So you have the resurgence, you have the upheaval, which was the battle to stop the resurgence. And that was all 100 years ago. And before that, vampires live. You know, Revenants are just vampires. In the Japanese version, they actually changed the name to vampires, I heard. But there's like a lot of lore in the game where you can read about like the medieval times and stuff, and like the Vampire Hunter Association, which is in the game, which you're a member of, or you're not a member of it, sorry, but you are a vampire hunter. And vampires like fought throughout the Middle Ages and all this stuff like in secret. And in this game. So here's a lore person you can talk to. He'll come back later in the game. So there's like some stuff that's interesting that yeah, I'm gonna leave it at it's interesting. I haven't been able to figure it out. I've been reading a lot of the stuff in the game, like all the lore things I've gone through, trying to put the timeline together. And basically the thing that did, so they talk about a resurgence, right? Which is when all of everything went to shit and humans and revenants were turned into horrors. And then they sealed the revenant, or they sealed the resurgence in the sky during the upheaval. But when you go back in time and you talk to people, they will talk like they've already pushed back the resurgence. And then you have a memory where you go back in time, or you have a memory with one of the characters where she talks about, like, there's a second resurgence. And Lou here is like, oh, there's no record of a second resurgence. What is this? And so some of the things just aren't timing in order for me. Okay, so in here is just a bunch of people you can talk to them. They're kind of funny to talk to. So this lady's like, the caravan should have arrived. This place is done for. If you go back up here, there's a couple guys, like the guy in the corner over there will say something like, oh, we really need help. And basically later on in the game, all of the voice lines will change.
You're a Revenant hunter? I suppose you can stay here if you want.
You know, be prepared to pull your weight. Later on, when you do stuff in the past, he'll say something like, oh, we have so much help, we don't need any help.
You're a Revenant hunter, aren't you?
You know?
Sadly, we can't.
So it's literally, it's just funny how they say the exact opposite thing, but this place looks exactly the same. Like, all the buildings are still torn down, everything. Like, so that's the part where I kind of was like, okay, come on. Okay, so here's Yadwiga's, another Yadwiga minion. So right here, we're actually going to have our first customer token. So a customer token increases the amount of items you can buy at the general store. And this token will let you buy Tender Crimson Stones and Pure Platinum at Yadwiga's shop. So always buy these whenever you see them. And we're going to go around and get a couple of them throughout this. And then, of course, he has his unique weapons. VK Rune Blades aren't horrible if you want a different dex weapon. And he has all of these different formas. So what actually I'm going to do is I'm going to farm up some haze later. And then I'll come back to all of these people and buy all of their stuff. Now, if there's a specific thing that you really, really want, definitely do that. Okay, I meant to click on customize weapon. Okay, so I'll just put Bolt Blast on just because I don't have anything else. So if you see any forma that you really want, like an offensive forma or a buffing forma, definitely get it. So right here, you're entering the Sunken City for the first time. And I think that's a pretty good place to end this video and pick up the next walkthrough video. In the next walkthrough video, we're going to get to that clock tower, and we're going to go get a couple map icons. We're going to unlock some of the map, and we're also going to head to a farm spot where you can kind of easily farm up your blood codes if you want to. Personally, I like to farm up the blood codes because I don't want to be using all of the different blood codes. I want to use like my main combat blood code, and then but the boosters you get from all of the blood codes being leveled up are really valuable. So that's why you want to level them up. It's for the boosters. Okay, so I will pick up in the next video.